And from collapse to comeback, India has written the history in the golden words as India has beaten England at the Oval, winning by 6 runs. It was an entertainer. It was a short thriller that India faced England and Chris Woakes coming, but still Mohammad Siraj has been, shaking and creating tremors all across England, and they have finally scripted history, winning by 6 runs, Abhishek.
Absolutely, Deepika. It was a battle of 35 runs and 4 wickets. That's what India needed in the last day. But what a performance by Mohammad Siraj and Prasar Krishna. Mohammad Siraj pick up the bowlers for India in the entire match, taking 9 wickets, and in the second innings also taking 5 wicket haul. But what a great game, historic win, what a cliffhanger, what a game for India, and winning it eventually by 6 runs and levelling the series also. To remember, the highest chase, Deepika, at the Oval was 263. That was chased down back in 1902. So you can actually think, you can actually comprehend, and you can actually say that what a great game, what a great performance by the Indian team here. And the highest successful run chase at the venue was registered by England back in 1902. England was on the verge of chasing, remember, because in the first test also they chased down, match was played at Leeds, they chased down 375. There were a lot of ebbs and flows in the entire game. But yes, India, they have retained, in fact, the Anderson Tendulkar trophy. They have leveled the trophy 2-2. We can talk about Shubman Gill's captaincy also. There were a lot of questions on Shubman Gill's captaincy also. But what a great game of cricket here. All the 5 test matches, Deepika, going into the 5th day, and over 1,000 overs were bowled in the entire game. But Siraj, what a performance by Mohammad Siraj. 9 wickets in the entire game. Out of 4 wickets on the last day, Deepika, he took 3 wickets, one by Prasad Krishna. Right. But again, what a cliffhanger it was.
Right. When we talk about it, Abhishek, not only India did make a lot of records, Shubman Gill making a lot of runs, and being the highest wicket taker, Mohammad Siraj there. But now winning this entire match was one of the most awaited moment, and the way it all panned out. Going across to Narayan, who joins us live from newsroom. Narayan, what a thriller it was, minute by minute. Everybody was awaiting the result. And when Chris Woakes came in, ultimately we were not expecting him to at least come on the pitch, but it was all out for England, and nothing was under their control in the last moments, in the last few minutes, and India eventually etching the history. Narayan.
Yes, Deepika, it was on expected lines, as we mentioned that today was the day 5, and yesterday it was raining, and there was some damp pitch was also there, some moisture was in the pitch, and therefore we saw most important thing that yesterday our bowlers are looking tired. Even if you take a look, the speed of the Prasad Krishna, he was bowling around 120, 125. So today they came with a fresh zeal, and their legs were fresh, and it was reflected in their performance, the way Mohammad Siraj and Prasad Krishna was bowling. We can say that fantastic performance, and it will be remembered forever, because if you talk about the test matches, the most important thing, such test matches keep the test cricket alive, because we know that it's all about right now, it's T20 cricket, T10 cricket, 100 balls. So this sort of test cricket, the visualization, such sort of performance by the player is keeping the test cricket alive. So I think here it's the victory of cricket, rather than we are saying that a team won, because finally drawing a series here, it's equivalent to winning a series for India in such a precarious situation. Yesterday it was looking like that when Harry Brook and Joe Root was playing, it will be a one-way traffic, but towards the end, the way Prasad Krishna took 2 wickets in 9 balls, that turned the match in India's favor, and from then drizzle came, and the match extended to day 5, and today the result is in front of us. So kudos to this Indian team, the way they fought, the way they played throughout the series. For me, the scoreline should have been 4-0 in favor of India, the way they played throughout the tournament. In first test match at Leeds, we saw 500s by the Indian batters, and first time a team scoring 500s in a single test match lost a test match in leads. And after that, they made a bounce back.
Right.
They won the second test match. But after that, again, we lost the match. But finally, here winning the this final test match at Oval, it will be always remembered in the annals of the Indian cricket history.
And leveling the series also, because we heard Shubman Gill, saying it time and again, that this will be a huge, huge achievement if this happens. And finally, they've made it happen. And also joining us is Mr. Rakesh Rao. Mr. Rao, Abhishek has a very special question for you.
Rakesh ji, welcome again. But yes, like we were discussing in the pre-day 5 show also, that first few overs, first 3-4 overs will be very crucial. And you think Jamie Smith's wicket taken by Siraj, you think that that turned out to be a very crucial point and crucial wicket, and I think that pumped up Siraj and others also.
Yeah, that was a huge wicket. That was a huge moment in the game because of the simple reason that that wicket belonged to Smith.
Yeah.
Had it been from the other end, it would have been still okay. But that really hurt England. And, the only time they seem to have lost track, they were not too sure, after that. And let's not forget, once you remove the top 7 from the list, that means now you have to deal with the tail. And that included one guy who could not bat with both hands. So suddenly they are looking at even, taking singles was a big deal. And the way Indians bowled, and luckily again, we were just clear fortunate that Krishna didn't leak runs today after the first over. Once he completed that unfinished over, we were saved. And give credit to Siraj here, because what Siraj actually did was he kept bowling that nagging line. That is something that never gave them any relief. They were waiting to score off Prasid, but Siraj was outstanding. Just give it to him. Every delivery he bowled, you knew that he was putting his heart in. And also, Jurel missing that stumping. That was, of course, because he's still pretty,
right.
He is inexperienced, but I still hold the captain and others responsible, because you knew he would go for a single in any case. And that is where I also feel that Siraj and the wicketkeeper should have had a word with each other, that this is what I plan to do. Be ready, take that glove off, and then you have a good chance. But that didn't happen. But eventually, everything happened the way Siraj wanted, the way India wanted, the way millions of Indian fans wanted. A win which was, a win which was equal to keeping the trophy.
That
means you not
That's
only
true.
bounced
And that too
twice from where it is.
And that too against the English conditions there at the Oval, and how difficult it is to play at the Oval. And not only this, the English conditions, the English bowling and batting lineup, but this was really a thriller, a cliffhanger, because 11 more runs with versus 1 more wicket. That was the scoreline. That was, just putting everybody on the edge. But ultimately, India won it. But exactly what went wrong for Team England? Because Team England is not the side that we witnessed today. They were, just surviving. And Chris Woakes had to come on the pitch and, batting with that one single hand. That was a very unusual side, something that reminds us of Lagan. And that is what has been trending on social media platforms as well, Mr. Rao.
That is what sports brings out, Sports not only just builds your character, it reflects it. Today, what you saw, what Woakes did, what England did, this is what sports actually does. When you're doing it for your country, he was grimacing in pain. We all saw that. And it was quite, natural. You have a dislocated shoulder and you don't even have it, strapped. It is on a sling, which is actually strapped to your entire, chest. And of course, that area, your rib cage. Now, for you to hold that and complete 44 yards is not easy. And then you have to hold one, you have to keep one hand free because you can't really support it with the other hand. So it was difficult. Now, what you saw Chris Woakes do was, of course, it was expected that he would come and just stay there. But look at Atkinson. Atkinson did his best. And where England really lost the plot was because they panicked. It wasn't such a bad scene. They lost the last 7 wickets for 66 runs. Now from 301 for 3 to 367 all out. So those 7 wickets in the space of 66 runs. Now what happens is you still thought that somebody would still complete the runs. Even when Atkinson hit that 6, they were still in the game because Prasad Krishna was still bowling. I thought that now they will go after him. But Prasad bowled a good line. At least he didn't take runs. He He just kept it there, kept it just around the off stump. But for me, Siraj was the one who would bowl first half of his over by keeping the ball just the one that left that right-hander, and he would sneak one in right back. That was his wicket-taking ball, which surprised a lot of individuals because they knew he would do that, but you were not ready for it. So the last 2 wickets were both bowled. So that you have to give credit to Siraj and Prasid to actually attack the stumps. Because when you are attacking the stumps, chances are that you will go for runs because they expect to come underneath that ball. Once they get under that ball, they can hit you anywhere. So you got to be a little careful there. But then I think credit to the Indian spirit. Right. Indians took their time, got them. Shubman took his time. He made Prasid understand what was required of him. You could see that he was getting animated. But everything was there because the Indian team was so charged up.
That's true.
That is the best part. You know that this is a do or die game for you. This win will ensure that the trophy remains with India. So this loss is a double blow for England because a draw here, or even a tied match would have ensured that this game, the trophy would have gone England's way. Yeah. So a lot was riding here. It is not just that you win a close game, the 5th match of the series after having, saved the last game. So much happened. So there's so much drama, so much background, which the scoreboard will never reveal. It is, I just wish and pray that history records the contribution of Washington Sundar for the last wicket. That is what kept the match alive into the 5th day. Absolutely. A lot of people are not going to remember this, but give credit to him. He didn't let Prasad take strike. He kept the strike with him, hit 4 sixes and 4 fours, if I remember. And that is the trick, because that's exactly how Atkinson was expected to do. The only way you could have won the match was by hitting big sixes. And he brought it well within 1 shot of that. Just another hit and the scores would have been tight. So they came that close. So let's not forget, England did what they were expected to do. But on this day, I think Indians didn't make the last mistake.
Absolutely, Rakeshji, like you mentioned, a lot of credit goes to Washington Sundar also, the way he batted. But India has a rich history of memorable test victory. Narayan, you have been covering cricket for a long time. Where will you keep this? I mean, we can never forget the 2001 Eden Gardens victory, a great partnership between Rahul Dravid and VVS Lakshman. Gaba triumph also comes to the mind in 2021, and also 2008 victory in Perth. But where will you keep this?
Abhishek, here I will say that each and every victory is different, because I don't believe in comparing which will be at the top, which will be the number 2nd, but definitely this is one of the best wins India has ever managed to win, because as we know that it's a long 5-match series and our players were continuously got injured, especially the pace bowlers, and we know that apart from Mohammad Siraj, no single pacer from both the sides able to complete the 5 test matches. So we can say that in that term, in terms of the longevity, in terms of the long series away from the home, the way Indian, especially the bowlers, showed the resilience in this final match, I think that in terms of that, it is one of the greatest win India has ever achieved. But here I would like to mention that if you want to continue this momentum, right now we will forget, because India won, we will just forget that India could have lost this match, because all the matches are very close encounter here, because India just slipped many matches from their hand in this series. Otherwise, the score line would have been different. Here, right now, we are glorifying our team, but India would have lost this match. Definitely, then we would have sent them from glory to dust. So, in that case, I think there were several issues in our team. Definitely, the Bumrah playing only 3 test matches. It has been announced earlier only. Also, the reports came that BCCI is not happy with this stance of Jasprit Bumrah to pick and choose that he will play for only 3 matches. So I think this should be addressed for the future because red ball cricket, wild ball cricket, there is a lot of burden on the Indian players, Indian team and all over the world. So I think if team management could do something in that scenario, the result would be better.
And also coming on to you, Mr. Rao, we are also, playing the graphics of the overall highlights and records that India has created so far. We were talking about it before the beginning of the match that India has really done really well in many of the departments, speed, batting, bowling, and also Karun Nair rising to the occasion, Akash Deep there playing, and Mohammad Siraj has been exceptionally well. And after the match victory, he said that I can make India win in any of the given situation. How do you assess the overall changes that Shubman Gill has made so far across all the 5 matches? Karun Nair rising to the occasion, different players rising to the occasion, and finally this eventual match, which was certainly a cliffhanger, Mr. Rao.
Deepika, I mean, just think of one man who goes by the name of Karun Nair.
Yeah.
He gets to score a 50 after more than 3,000 days. That's 10 years beyond. So what we are looking at is, I mean, it's close to 10 years all put together. What I'm trying to say is that people contributed, and they just made it happen, just about made it happen. Now, overall, if you look at it, Indians should have come out stronger in the series, very clearly, because we dominated more sessions, but we lost the key moments. That's why it was 2-2. Otherwise, if you look at it, this was a weak England team. We knew that the attack of this English team was pretty ordinary. And especially in the last match, 4 changes means they took out their captain, one of the performing all-rounders. They took out, like Jofra Archer, one of those feared names, and then 2 other names because of, like workload management or injuries. But the point is that that was the time when Indians must have gained confidence, although Indians also made those changes. Minus Bumrah, it didn't hit India so badly. But the point is that was the time when Indians really thought that, yes, we can make it 2-2. But then once they were hitting the way that they did, they reached, I think, 100 odd runs in 16 overs, and they were really going after India. And India's 224 looked so small. But the point was that was the time when they lost track again. Twice it happened in this match with England, that they were looking good, they were looking to destroy India, and they lost the plot. And, as they say, lightning doesn't strike at the same place twice. But when it came to England, lightning did strike them twice at over.
That's right.
And that is something that they will be hurting very badly. Because they had this match. This match belonged to them after the second session yesterday. They had no business to lose from there. But give credit to the Indians that they kept believing that this could, it could happen once again. If it could happen in the first innings, it could again happen in the second. And England just about made it. But, just there, they could have. But then give credit to the Indians here for believing. And more than the Indians, I think one man, Siraj, believed that he could make it happen. He didn't wait for others to happen because of the one dropped catch, I think. He just took it onto himself. He must have prayed. He must have worked hard. And he kept striving for excellence. That is what I really liked about Siraj today. India owes a lot to that.
And also, Mr. Rao, he's been adjudged as player of the match, Mohammad Siraj.
Yeah, rightly so. I mean, I would have been very surprised if it had gone to someone who had made runs, because this particular match, 19 wickets to get, Indians got those 19 wickets eventually. Right. But I would give credit to the Indians for battling back. 2 successive games which looked lost for India on day 5, they actually drew that game and won here. So, those 2 slipped, like victories in the first and the third match. That will continue to, be remembered as something that Indians should have converted. But give credit to England for converting those huge moments, the key moments, where India somehow lacked. But here, at the end of it, I think India didn't deserve to lose the series. And rightly so, poetic justice stands done. Indians have drawn the series and they retain the trophy.
Absolutely, Rakesh ji, like you said, India could have won the first test also. England chased down 375. They could have won the Lord's Test also. And like Narayan also said, that the series result could have been 4-0. But Mohammad Siraj, we need to talk about his mindset also. Rakesh ji, he dropped Harry Brooks' catch at the crucial juncture. We got to appreciate the way he made a comeback also. And I was, discussing yesterday also. Do you think, he ups the ante when he's not with Jasprit Bumrah? I don't know. Maybe I'm assuming. Without Jasprit Bumrah, he has done far better. We have seen this in the series also. Is it just a coincidence? Because without Jasprit Bumrah, is Jasprit Bumrah at his peak?
Abhishek, this is a point very well made. Because, this is like Siraj knows that this is his moment. Otherwise, the credit often goes to Jasprit because of the way he goes, because of the way he strikes. And Siraj, obviously, somehow either he gets in awe of the man at the other end. But then here, in this particular game, it was very clear that no other bowler was effective. He somehow believed that if anyone could help India win with the ball, it was him, not Akash, not Prasad, and of course the two spinners were hardly in the game. So he took it on to himself, and give credit to him for giving his 100%. What if England had actually won the match by 1 wicket, for example? Then people would have said, oh, Siraj was hit for a 6. Doesn't matter. He was trying. This is a game of cricket where the team, both teams are trying to win, be it a batter or the last man standing. He would still swing the bat, and he can send the ball over the ropes these days. So it is not that a tailender has hit you for a 6, but Siraj always faces that danger of being criticized and not given credit when wherever it's due. So I'm very happy for him because he showed his heart. He showed, he's one guy who is passionate. He knows his limitations. He knows that as a fielder, he's a very ordinary fielder, but he still gives us 100%.
Right.
His catching is ordinary.
Coming on to you, Narayan, we are just moving closer towards wrapping up this special broadcast. But last comment from you on the future of Test cricket in India. Is it in the safer hands? Because, Shubman Gill and Gautam Gambhir, both of them have somewhere silenced the critiques with this particular match victory and levelling the series. However, we could have had a better result, as Mr. Rao also said. But what do you think of the future of Test cricket for India?
See, for me, it is like the future, at least in India, we still have to set the record straight. What happened against New Zealand is still very, very fresh. You don't lose home series 3-0. But at the same time, you have actually invested in youth. So persist with youth. At the same time, Gautam Gambhir in that dressing room, sorry, I'm not in favor of everything that he does, but then he has a mind of his own and he does things his way, and as long as the board is backing him, it's okay. But going by this result, I will not give Gautam Gambhir a lot of credit here. Gautam Gambhir is the sort of guy he can only push the players, sometimes reasonably, and sometimes he's not reasonable. But then that is for the cricketers to see. But yes, going forward, I think you can persist with Shubman by giving him a home series. Right. Because you have given him a series in England, which was, it was like absolutely cruel. But at the same time, the English conditions were not so bad. It was like flat wickets, and he was lucky to score all those runs and get that confidence with his bat, not with his captaincy though.
Yes, Narayan, very quickly, we are running short of time, but yes, what a fitting end to a brilliant, brutal Anderson Tendulkar trophy. Narayan?
All right, there seems to be some audio issue there, but then your last comments, your last closing on this befitting reply to Team England and a befitting reply to all the critiques on the captaincy and everything, Mr. Rao.
Well, this is a series which I'm going to remember for a long time, not because we played well, we played better. Because it was a game which was full of mistakes. Both sides made their mistakes. Both teams were not sure whether they actually deserved to win. But I think in the end, India didn't deserve to lose this series. So that way, it was, for me, poetic justice done. And the trophy remains with India. Nothing could have been better.
All right, with this, it's a wrap here. Thank you so much, Mr. Dhawan. Thank you so much, Narayan, for joining us and making this moment even more historic, because India has sealed that historic victory, breaking the barriers, breaking the boundaries, making a strong comeback against England, and that too at their home ground at the toughest oval pitch.
Absolutely, Deepika, leveling the series 2-2, and what a fitting end to the Anderson Tendulkar Trophy also. That's all we have in our special broadcast. Stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.
Namaskar.